Greetings, New Zealand naturopath Eric Bakker here. I'm author of the book called Candida Crusher and also the formulator of a range of products called CanXida. Thanks for checking out my video. A question I get asked from time to time from women all around the world, many different countries. Women from England, women from Australia, from New Zealand, Italy, Spain, Greece, Germany, Holland, and right throughout the United States. I get asked a lot of questions regarding vaginal yeast infections. Chapter 5 of my book contains a lot of information on vaginal yeast infection. You can also read many articles that I've written on yeastinfection.org, and also have a look at this YouTube channel. There are many different solutions I give. This video is going to be about the best herbs for vaginal douching, or how you can clean the vaginal area very effectively with herbal medicines. You don't need to use vaginal creams and applicators, and pharmaceutical suppositories for this condition. I've been helping women with this condition now for a long time, probably over 25 years, and this is going to be some great information for women who suffer from vaginal yeast infection and who are looking for a permanent solution. So let's jump right into it. The best herbs, probably one of the better herbs to use is pau d'arco. Pau d'arco is a herb which is basically the bark, the inner bark from a large tree in South America. Make sure you get something, a good quality pau d'arco, because there are a lot of substitutes on the market. It's got to have between 2 to 4% lapicol content. So ask your supplier for a standardized extract, preferably a bark with a high lapicol content. So you get probably about, I think, 25-30 grams of the bark of this tree, and you get about a pint of water, about 600 mils. Use a good quality water, preferably bottled or spring water. Don't use tap water with chlorine and fluoride in it. And you bring it to the rolling boil in a stainless steel saucepan. Don't use aluminum. And then you turn it down and simmer it for about a quarter of an hour on very low with a lid on it to keep the condensate inside. Then let it cool down to room temperature, strain this and put it in some bottles and keep that. That'll keep in the fridge for a while. Now what you do is you take a small amount out and you can just get it to sort of room temperature, body temperature, and you want to roll a tampon in this solution and squeeze it out, then insert that, leave that in for about 24 hours. So that will keep in the fridge, that bottle, probably for a week, maybe 10 days. You can make up smaller amounts if you want, maybe 300 mils or half a pint. You don't need a lot of it. And also what you can do is insert the tampon in this solution, and then use it vaginally. You can also drink a little bit of that tea as well. So that tea can be consumed when it's warm and then used when it's tepid vaginally. So that's the pau d'arco. Calendula tincture is quite nice to use. Go to your herbalist, medical herbalist, or good organic shop and buy a small bottle of calendula tincture with a low alcohol content, something maybe about 10 or 20% alcohol content, and you can use a few teaspoons of this in a small bowl of water for douching and for cleansing. So you can use a turkey baster or an applicator to suck up this solution and use that vaginally. Calendula is very antifungal and it's very good for healing and soothing the skin. So it's good also for if you've had a episiotomy or after childbirth. Calendula helps to tonify the skin around the perineum area and the vaginal area. It's good for cleansing, good antifungal. You can also get some dried herbs, coneflower, so Echinacea purpurea. You can use a little bit of a herb like andrographis, for example. It's another Chinese herb. But Echinacea is quite a good one to use in conjunction with the calendula flowers. Both of those go well together. So some dried echinacea, a small amount, and some calendula flowers, and you can make, in this case, an infusion. The pau d'arco was a decoction, that's boiling and simmering. Infusion is more how we make a cup of tea. We put a tea bag in some hot water and then throw the tea bag away. So you can make an infusion of some echinacea leaves or flowers and calendula flowers, make an infusion, and then use that as a vaginal cleanse as well. Tea tree oil can be used. One good tip I got from a patient in Germany, what she does very effectively, she gets some isopropyl alcohol and then she gets some tea tree oil and she's making up about a 40% concentration, so about 60% isopropyl alcohol and 40% tea tree oil, in the right quantities. Blend that and then mix that in with a generous amount of water until you've got a nice strong tea tree smell about the water. So quantities are arbitrary. I'd probably use something like half a teaspoon of tea tree oil, and then make up, say if that's the 40%, then 60% water, and 60% isopropyl alcohol. So you're going to use maybe 2.5 teaspoons of the isopropyl alcohol. Mix that with the tea tree oil, blend it in well, and then throw that in with a little bit of tepid water. You're probably going to use about half a cup of water, tepid water, and then use that as a douche, because it's quite hard to get water-miscible or water-soluble tea tree oil these days. It seems to be taken off the market. It's probably too effective. So a little bit of tea tree oil, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, mix them together, put it in a bit of tepid clean water, and use that as a douche. Another effective solution. So that gives you a few different herbs you can use: the tea tree oil, the calendula, the pau d'arco, the echinacea. And there are many other kind of herbs you can use, but these are about the core. Garlic can also be used as a herbal medicine. Dr. Tori Hudson from America recommends making a garlic tampon, for example, getting 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that are peeled, putting a needle and thread through them for a string, and then you've got a tampon, so you can draw that out. So that's another effective solution for you. Some women get burning from garlic, others don't get so much burning, so you need to experiment with that. I'll do some other videos on boric acid suppositories, because they are extremely effective and are, in my opinion, 95% successful in completely curing yeast infection. So we'll catch you in another video. Don't forget to do my quiz, my online quiz at yeastinfection.org. Check out Candida Crusher, my book that's available, and check out CanXida.com website, where I've showcased the different products I've made. Thanks for tuning into my video.